Hello and good afternoon everybody from Sydney Kingsford Smith International Airport. I'm at Terminal 2 today, just outside the check-in area near the taxi ramp and drop-off. And today I'm going to be flying Jetstar from here in Sydney back down to my hometown of Melbourne, Tullamarine in Victoria. Okay, so that's very loud. I'm going to now head inside, and that's not a door. I'm now going to go inside and check in. Once you get inside Terminal 2, this terminal serves every airline that flies domestic except for Qantas. So Virgin Australia over there, I'm pretty sure there's Pelican and Lynx somewhere over there, and there's Rex. And here is at Jetstar, which is what we want today. There's self-check-in, but there is not self-bag drop here in Sydney yet.
Attention please. To prepare for security,
check-in has now been completed, and now I guess it's time to head through security, since I don't have any bags to drop. It would appear that there is no priority screening here, which, considering you can have priority with Virgin Australia, is not very good, I would say. Not particularly impressive. Anyways, let's head through security. Okay, so security check has been completed. It was actually very quick. I didn't really have to wait at all. So priority check-in was not needed, but I feel like there would be sometimes when it is. I guess it's not a massive deal, but still. Anyways, now that we're out of security, here's the main food court in the Virgin Australia lounge, is just up there, which in the future I will review at some point, but not today, since I'm not flying Virgin Australia. So down there is where most of the Virgin Australia and Rex gates are, unless you're on a Rex regional flight, in which case it's at G2 down here. And then, once again, you know, they can be scattered. Sometimes there's an odd one here and there, but for the most part this area is for Jetstar. The food court here at Sydney it's very nice, and there's a lot of cafes around the place here, and I do really like these work desks or charging desks or whatever you want to call them here. I do really like them. So yeah, I'm going to go and try and find one of these, probably get a drink and relax for a bit, since we still have about an hour before we board. Okay, so it's now supposed to be time for boarding, however, not exactly sure where we're boarding, because the original gate was 53, and I just got a notification on my Jetstar app saying it's been changed to 47. So, let's go and find out. Okay, so seconds later, the gate was changed back to gate 53, which is just here. Haven't started boarding just yet, but our plane did arrive in 5 to 10 minutes ago from Avalon. My plane for today is a VH-VGQ. It's a 2010 built and delivered Airbus A320-200. It's very nice with the sun in the background. In fact, it looks, I think it's basically exactly the same as the thumbnail that I made for a video that I made a few months ago from when I'm recording. Anyways, should be boarding shortly, but that's our ride down to Melbourne. That's a pre-boarding announcement for our flight. It is a 100% full flight today. Not necessarily looking forward to that, to be honest. Thank you. Thank you very much. First aboard. Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's very cool when there's no one in here. Welcome to Jetstar's Airbus A320 with 180 seats in a 3-3 configuration. My seat for today will be 26F. Nearly went to the wrong side. On the right hand side of the aircraft when boarding from the back, which has a nice view towards the back of the wing. Okay, now that I'm on board here with my seatbelt fastened, let's go through the seat features of this aircraft.
Flight 521 through to Melbourne. Please remember to keep your face mask on for the duration of the flight. You'll be permitted to remove your mask when you're eating or drinking on likely event of emergency. If you're feeling unwell now, or should you feel unwell during the flight, please alert a crew member and follow their instructions. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start off with the legroom, which is, I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like a little bit more, maybe an extra centimetre compared to some other Jetstar A320s. Either that or I'm blind, which is highly possible. But either way, it's kind of just standard low-cost airline legroom, 29 inches, 74 centimetres, which for a 1 hour flight, really for anyone, most people should be able to deal with it. But if you're like 6 foot or more, it may get a bit uncomfortable for a longer flight. At the back here you have the seat back pocket, which contains the safety card, menu and 2 seat bags. It's not always 2, but there is today. We have a tray table here, which you can fold down. It's got a bit of texture on it, I think. There's a few crumbs in the back just there, but for the most part it's very clean. You can pull it out and push it in, but it is not foldable. And then just here we have a seat back pocket for your personal items. And here is the recline, which is actually not too bad for a low-cost carrier once again. And there's the overhead panel. This A320 is actually a little bit different to the others, since this one has a coat hook and also a seat back pouch here, which the seat back pouch is definitely something that was missed on the other one. And I don't personally use the coat hook, but some of us will know that One World Flyer would appreciate them a lot. Not sure how that happened. Anyways, I think for a low-cost carrier, it's basically just what I expect. It's definitely not below average though. If not, I think it's definitely better than some low-cost carriers. Sorry, I'm a few seconds late to Pushback, but it is now time to Pushback and taxi.
Hello again. We want you to have a safe and enjoyable flight. So please listen closely while we take you through the safety requirements for our Airbus A320. Your crew are highly trained to help keep you safe, so make sure you listen to and follow their instructions. As we get underway, please make sure your personal electronic devices are in a flight safe mode or otherwise completely switched off. Aid is open. The seatbelt sign above you will be illuminated whenever you must have your seatbelt fastened. To fasten your seatbelt, clip the buckle and clasp, and pull on the loose strap to tighten. Undo the seatbelt by lifting the buckle flap. The seatbelt is most effective when worn low, tight, and throughout the entire flight.
now time for takeoff. Our route today then took us south out of Sydney. We then made a right-hand turn, headed in basically a straight line down to Melbourne before landing in to Melbourne Tullamarine from the east. Flight time today was 1 hour and 12 minutes at a cruising altitude of 36,000 feet. Okay, now up here at cruising altitude, the cabin crew have just about finished making their way around the cabin to... Sorry, I just realised that the camera was pointing at the wall. The cabin crew just finished coming around to carry out the bar on board service. Started about 10-15 minutes ago, but since I'm towards the back, just at the end. So I have these, I think it's, Spring Hill Farm, coconut dark chocolate, like bars here. I don't know what you call them. I guess slice. So that's very tasty. I've had them before. And I also ordered a chai latte, which should be here soon. Sorry about that sun, by the way. That's very annoying. But it's been a very, very smooth flight. Since there was barely any clouds, however, there are some down there now. So, yeah. I reckon we're going to basically land right on time. Once again, the crew have been very friendly. So, that's all good. Oh, and I guess I better show you the in-flight menu, even though I've done it many times before. So over here you have light meals. I've had the toasty before, which is pretty nice. Haven't had the others, but I probably will try them one day. Then here's some soft drinks, some juices. Here's a whole bunch of bundles. Alcoholic beverages. And just up here you have savoury snacks, noodles, sweet snacks. That's what I got. Over here you have hot drinks with the chai tea, which is what I got. And merchant gifts, overpriced chocolate, kids activity pack, and a few more combos and stuff. So yeah, there's also international. This is the international menu. However, obviously you don't get them on a domestic flight, since they're kind of like more proper meals, whereas on here these are just light meals. So yeah, all in all, I think for a low-cost carrier in Australia, the prices are, they're not like cheap, but they're probably just standard. Some of them, I think, maybe $1 or 50 cents. Thank you. Chai has arrived. Okay, sorry, just had to make way for the chai. So, really, I think all the prices are just pretty standard, what I'd expect. But, like, the quantity of stuff on the menu is really good and quite impressive. I think it exceeds Virgin Australia by just a tiny bit. So, yeah. Anyways, now time to relax and enjoy my chai latte. Okay, the clouds look very, very cool out there. Nothing's happened since the food service ended. I don't think it's necessarily necessary, but I sort of was expecting the crew to come around after the buy on board to collect, because on my previous Jetstar flight they collected actually 3 times, but that's definitely not necessary. Even though it's good, it's not necessary. But I was kind of expecting them to collect after the food service and before landing, but that's okay as long as they collect at once. Still been very smooth and uneventful.
All cabin crew and customers are required to continue to wear a fitted face mask covering nose and mouth until you do leave the aircraft. They have their problem to dispose of your mask as you enter the terminal. Masks and wipes, whether used or unused, must not be left on board the aircraft. These items must be taken with you and disposed of on arrival into Melbourne.
Okay, so just realised that a bit earlier I forgot to show you that there was no headrest on this A320. There is on some other Jetstar A320s, but this one doesn't appear to have it, which is a bit annoying. For a 1 hour flight, it's not too bad. It still would be nice, but for a longer one, I think it would be missed. Also, we have just started our descent into Melbourne Tullamarine. It's starting to get darker here in the cabin.
Location of your nearest exits.
By the way, the crew did come around and collect rubbish around 5 minutes ago, just prior to descent. Also, that announcement was just about arrival information and all that kind of stuff. Let me know if you know exactly what this is. It looks like little bits of ice, little strings of ice on the window. But yeah, looking forward to a nice sunset landing. Looks very cloudy down in Melbourne. We're now on approach into Melbourne Tullamarine. I believe we're landing on runway 27. Welcome to Melbourne. Pretty smooth landing. Not bad at all. Totally didn't accidentally stop recording for half a second there.
Jetstar would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land. We would also like to pay our respects to elders past, present and those emerging. Welcome to Melbourne. With your safety in mind, we do ask that customers remain seated, keeping the aisle and exits clear until the seatbelt sign above you has been switched off. If your mobile devices are within reach, you can take them out of flight mode now. Please exercise caution as you open overhead lockers. Some of your belongings may have moved throughout the flight, and take a moment to check around you, see back in front of you for personal items you may leave behind. We ask that you hold onto the handrail as you descend the stairs, follow any markings on the tarmac to the terminal, along with any directions given to you by the ground staff once outside, and as always, smoking and vaping is prohibited upon disembarkation and throughout the airport.
Just about to pull into the gate here. You can't see it yet, but I will show you on arrival. Jetstar's new A321-200 LR is sitting on the ground here at Melbourne, which is because this is Melbourne's Jetstar's main hub, and so that's where the A321 is based out of for the meantime, while the rest get delivered. So yeah. I do plan to review that, by the way. I have no idea when you're seeing this, but yeah, stay tuned for that, if it's not already out.
Please disarm doors.
Now time to disembark. Thank you. Okay, now inside the terminal. It's nice and warm in here. It's freezing outside, and yeah, unfortunately wasn't able to get a good view of the plane, but that's okay because got an alright view in Sydney. However, what I should be able to get a good view of is the special A321neo, which is parked just here. Here's the beautiful Jetstar Airbus A321neo. I do love the new livery. The old Jetstar livery is good, but it's very nice for a change. And the plane, the A321neo LR, looks very nice as well. Excited to hopefully fly on that in the future. Okay, well, maybe that I've got a view of everything I can down here. I think it's about time to head upstairs and conclude today's trip reports. Well, I'd firstly like to say that starting off in Sydney, well, the check-in process, since I didn't have to drop bags, was very, very good and easy. However, I know from experience that dropping bags there can take a good minute. And it's not, I mean, I'm really surprised that they don't have self-bag drop there, because they have self-bag drop in like Melbourne, Gold Coast, Brisbane, I think Brisbane actually, I'm not 100% sure, Adelaide, and almost everywhere. Like almost every major airport in Sydney's the second biggest airport. Sorry, I think it's Jetstar's second hub. So yeah, not particularly impressed by that, but it's not like I was surprised because I've flown them from Sydney before. So boarding was basically on time, and it was pretty coordinated. It was a pretty easygoing process, and it took a little bit longer than I feel like usual for Jetstar, but not too bad. Once you're on board, they weren't the most friendly crew I've ever had. They were friendly though. They just weren't overly friendly. So yeah, the seat itself, in some ways it's better than the A320 that I've flown on in the past, which doesn't have the seat back pocket for your personal items, nor does it have a coat hook, but it does have a headrest. So you actually can't pick what one you want. From my experience, it's normally the ones with sharklets that have the headrest, and the one that I flew today, which didn't have sharklets, tends not to. So yeah, but it really is not a big deal. Either way, there's pros and cons to both. But the actual seat, like, just it's a standard low-cost A320 seat, I suppose. Nothing special, nothing amazing. But yeah. Now the in-flight menu, as I mentioned earlier, I think that's very impressive, and the prices are okay. Disembarkation, it's fine. It was pretty quick. That's one advantage to sitting towards the back or right at the front. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. I don't think I have. And then crew were not particularly attentive, crew, but once again, they were fine. And still friendly enough. So, yeah. My final conclusion for Jetstar would have to be, well, there's 4 options on the Sydney and Melbourne route. That being Qantas on a 737, or you can book on a 717 or A330 and then have a 95% chance of getting changed to a 737. I actually don't know what the odds are, but it seems like that from my experience, considering I'm pretty sure, like, I've booked like 7 717s, 5 of them were changed, like 9 A330s and 8 of them were changed, something stupid like that. So yeah, most likely going to be 737s in Sydney and Melbourne unless you're really lucky. If you somehow manage to get an A330, then that's really good, but I still don't think it's worth paying the extra for Qantas. I can't believe, I checked the other day, and Qantas now want $199 for flights to Sydney, which is quite insane. I'm not 100% sure if that's the regular price, but that was like the cheapest price I could find in December of this year. Quite insane, really. So I definitely don't think it's worth paying. It's probably an extra $100 like on top of Jetstar, like even if you add a bundle with Jetstar so you have baggage. So I'm definitely not Qantas. I don't think that's the best option. Rex, both Rex and Virgin have very good options. Rex is normally $89, $89 or $99. Virgin's anywhere from, I think, $75 to $110. It depends on the day that you're flying. So yeah, look, either Rex or Virgin is a very good option, and it's honestly probably, if you can get Virgin for like $89 baggage inclusive, it's probably the best way to go. However, if you're just flying with carry-on, I don't see an issue with Jetstar. I think it's probably the best option if you're travelling lightly. Or if you can get Rex for $89, if you need checked baggage, that's also a very good option. But yeah, I think it's normally about $70, $80, like starter fare. I paid $34 for this flight because I booked it before fuel prices went crazy and on a Boxing Day sale. So yeah. Anyways, that's my conclusion for today's video. Sorry, once again, I feel like it's long. I feel like my conclusions get longer every time. Let me know in the comment section below. I've been thinking about starting to do the conclusions while we're descending into the airport, because that way I save a bit of time, and then I can just do the deboarding conclusion on the ground. Let me know what you think of that in the comment section below. Anyways, thank you all for watching today's video. A like and subscription if you enjoyed it would be very much appreciated. However, it's not at all necessary. Check out my community tab for polls just for a bit of fun, or to have a say in what I upload and when I upload it. There's also just more information over there. Check out my website, which is in the description, along with flight information, which is aviation763.com for information on upcoming flights. Thank you to all my amazing Patreons who help to make these videos possible. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching today's video once again. Have a great day, and I hope to see you in my next one.